what an incredible journey and career this guy has had. I mean, the wins, the championships, but then how he's done it off the track just as well as the way he's done it on the track. Very impressive.
I was a little shocked that Jimmie Johnson took physics. I saw I'm like, did he take physics or did the physics teacher just know him? But look, I met him in 2001. And the biggest compliment I can give him is that he's the same guy today that he was then. With all of his success, Jimmie Johnson never changed.
Yeah, when you want to buzz for personality, but he didn't. He always said the right kind of things, and even the great charity work and contributions, low profile, right? Not a lot of fanfare. Jimmie Johnson wanted to have a Peyton Manning kind of moment, and he certainly earned it. The 7-time champions retirement announcement that came in November surprised a lot of fans, members of the media, and even his fellow drivers.
Jimmy, you've done a lot of amazing things in your career, but like any race car driver, I'm sure there are some that just got away. What's the one thing you wish you could redo?
For me, I go back to my first Coca-Cola 600, and the last pit stop, I slid through the pit box and had to back up and lost a bunch of time, and that one still weighs on me today. I could have won the Coca-Cola 600 my rookie year.
My big question is, if you're going to retire, does that mean that you're going to exercise more? Because right now I feel like you have more hours in the day than the rest of us. So now when you retire, does that go to another level? Just asking for a friend.
Yeah, I think so. I think it does open up the opportunity to get more fit. There's some events I want to participate in. I've always wanted to run the New York City Marathon.
I've always been curious exactly how the conversation went with the boss after the golf cart surfing incident happened.
Great question. I think he wants to know in case he's ever in trouble. But the phone call, I called Rick and told him that I had an incident and broke my wrist. And when I landed back in Charlotte, I noticed there was a black Tahoe parked outside of the airplane. It was Mr. Hendrick, and he was there with the doctor to personally escort me to the hospital.
But I want to know, which one was your most fierce and toughest battle of all 7 championships?
The one with you, because that's the one I've ever really entered behind in points. That was uncharted territory for me.
So Jimmy.
Oh no.
Now that you're retiring, I mean, when are we going to start seeing this? Will it be okay if we hang out now? I mean, you can start doing things that are fun, by the way, all right? Let's go, baby.
I feel like the opportunity to hang out's really finally here, Clint. I've been worried about my reputation and being with you and getting in trouble with you. So now that I'll be out of the spotlight in a sense, yes, let's hang more often.
What type of advice would you give me to help me prolong my career and make an impact the way you have impacted this sport today?
I mean, I would just say keep being you. And you've done such an amazing job being yourself and being authentic to yourself. I feel like I've gotten better at that as my career has gone on, and I think, Bubba, you're off to a great start. Bring your passion like you do each and every week, and you're going to have a nice, long career.
And one of the most fit drivers, or fit, athlete you're going to find anywhere. A 2-time Daytona 500 winner. There's a look at that 48 car, and the most recent, or the last one, came in 2013. How about his chances today? Obviously, he's always got a good shot, but anything specific you've seen this week for Jimmy in this ride?
Don't let that calm demeanor fool you. Jimmie Johnson is one of the fiercest competitors I ever raced against on the racetrack. I think his chances and his motivation to go out there and win in his final year, he has one thing left to do, and that's go out on top. And that all starts today in this Daytona 500.
Look, I think Jimmie Johnson's a different person since making that announcement. He seems much more relaxed. I feel like he had a lot of pressure on himself to perform, and this year is going to be different for him. He's going to try to savor all this, and I'd have to tell Kevin Harvick that, yes, Jimmie Johnson's going to do more fitness stuff, probably more marathons. I can't wait to see what he has in the future. And the one thing that Jimmie Johnson doesn't know right now is that when he quits driving, how much less stress he's going to have in his life. When you have a bad race here today, you go home, you can't sleep. Jeff and I have talked about this in the past. When you watch the races and someone blows up, you're like, hate that for him. I'm going to go home. You don't worry about it anymore, right? So his life's going to change a lot.
Well, this is also opening day for the NASCAR season and the running of its most important race, the Great American Race. You've won multiple times, 3 times. Jimmy Johnson has won a couple of Daytona 500s. When after you won that first one, is there a sense of relief the next time you come to a place like the Daytona 500, or is there more pressure to own up to what you did?
I think after you win this race, you realize how big it is. You know it's a big deal. You know leading up to this that you haven't slept. But after you win it, you do all the media. You get recognized in places that you can't imagine.
Yeah, and what that does is, and I know Jimmy Johnson and others like him, they are motivated by that, to be on the biggest stage, to be able to hoist that trophy up, to be able to go to New York City or wherever you are, be recognized. You know, even though he's quiet, I'm telling you, that is highly motivating, not just for him, but everybody in this field here today. But he knows what it feels like.
Yeah, right. He wants to feel it again. Chance of USA here at the Great American Race. Before the Daytona 500, you can download the Fox Sports Super 6 app and play Super 6 NASCAR. For free, you'll have a chance to win up to $10,000 at a progressive jackpot, meaning that if there's no winner this week, they'll add another $10,000 to the prize next week, so you can get your picks in right now. You want to give us a pick before you head to the broadcast booth? Woo! Or you could just throw one or two.
I'm going to go with Kevin Harvick. I think he looks really strong.
All right, I'll get yours in a moment. We still have some time. He's got to head up and join Mike Joy for another call. Have a great call.
Right. I'm pumped. I'm excited. This is going to be an amazing race.
Always great having you here. Jeff Gordon, Hall of Famer, 3-time NASCAR champ and Daytona 500 winner. And our president, we're going to hear from Donald Trump, who is here as the Grand Marshal to start the engines.
Exploring isn't just doing one thing well. You need to set a course. Adjust your speed. Avoid danger. Manage multiple terrains. And cover your blind spots. All while keeping the crew happy. The completely redesigned 2020 Ford Explorer with available Ford Copilot 360 technology. The greatest exploration vehicle of all time.
Introducing Wendy's 2 for $5. The only 2 for $5 with Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef and the spicy chicken you crave. Choose from the Dave Single Spicy Chicken Sandwich, 10-piece crispy, or spicy nuggets. Pick any 2 for $5. Only at Wendy's.
That's the sound of refreshment. No question about it.
I got a question. Does camouflage actually work?
Let's see. Did not see that coming. Kind of the point.
Fox Wednesday, it's TV's #1 night. First, 6 new secret celebrities join the competition.
Oh my God! Who is this?
An all-new Masked Singer. Then, it's the greatest competition ever assembled.
It's gonna be epic!
And that's not the half of it.
Your job is to build the other half.
It's a jaw-dropping episode.
Trust exercise!
Too slow!
Wednesday, an all-new Masked Singer, followed by the all-new hit Lego Masters on Fox.
You're the new sheriff of Los Angeles County.
This department has lost its way. Ready, partner?
Yes, Sheriff.
All new Deputy. Thursdays on Fox, or watch anytime on Fox Now or Hulu.
The biggest fight in recent history.
It's the pay-per-view event of the decade. Wilder Fury 2, Saturday on pay-per-view or buy now on the Fox Sports app.
We're live at Daytona International Speedway, and aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Discover what's possible. Keep moving. Goodyear. More driven. Let's head down to the track. Matt Yoakum is with the fans' most popular driver. Matt?
Chris, down here on the grid, it's electrifying. I saw the godfather of Ford racing, Edsel Ford. He's down here. Now I see Seabreeze High School's Alan Gustafson. Wild Bill, 2-time winner. By the way, no, Chase, come on in. He's one of 12 multiple winners. Can you join the club of becoming a first?
I hope so. Our Napa Camaro has been fast enough, I think, to be a contender today. So somebody asked me today if I was ever going to catch up to him. I said we better start winning now, soon, quick. Got a lot of catching up to do. So looking forward to it.
All right, he's already got a win at Talladega. Let's go farther up the grid and my teammate Regan.
Well, Justin Haley getting ready to make your first ever start in the Daytona 500. What does this day feel like?
It's just such a blessing. I'm so thankful for Matt Collick, Chris Rice, these guys standing behind me. They put this deal together. Everyone at the Fraternal Order of Eagles for giving me this opportunity. We raced our way in to the Daytona 500, and biggest day of my life. So hopefully we can repeat last July's win and get Matt his first Cup win here. But just super, super awesome to be doing this on such a big platform.
All right, good luck, Justin. Matt.
Okay, I'm up here at the 12. We got Oswego Speedway's Todd Gordon, his new driver this year, Ryan Blaney. You know what this race means, especially for your racing resume. You're such a historian. Have you been able to even dream about what it can mean to take the checkered flag?
Well, really all I've done is dream about it because it hasn't happened. But just coming down here as a kid, watching Dad run so much, loving Speed Weeks, and then you understand the history, you know, being able to especially run for the Wood Brothers here. We ran second in their car here and coming so close, but we've been close a handful of times. Just need to finish it out. So can't thank Menards and Peak and Ford enough for what they're doing. Really nice to get the new year here. That's just great. And be able to work with Todd this year and that whole group is exciting. Just ready to go today.
Well, it's like Blondie said, dreaming is free. Regan.
Well, Ryan Preece, 8th place in the Great American Race last year. Your teammate's on the pole. You're back here a little ways further back. How long till you catch up to him today?
Just going to play it by ear. I mean, at the beginning of the race, definitely going to try and move forward here, but this Continental Kroger Chevy's got some speed to it, so just keep it all in one piece like last year, and hopefully the last half a lap goes a little different.
All right, good luck, Ryan. Michael.
Hey, Regan, I'm on the front of the grid here, mid-pack or so, and I got Sheamus, WWE superstar.
What's the crack, fella? How you doing?
It's going great, the Celtic War. We're going to start the grid walk. Come with me. Right now, here's Ryan Newman. Hey, Ryan, you got time for a comment?
No, I'm busy.
Let me ask, excuse me, Sheamus, ask Ryan if he has time for a comment.
Ryan, how are you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you? I'd gladly talk to you.
I get it. He's been following me around all day. My question is, right, you're definitely like the biggest person here, biggest NASCAR driver by far. Probably about like, what, 50 pounds? How'd you fit into this car, fella?
Just slide through the window.
Through the window?
Yeah. Made a fit, made custom fit just for me. I bet you could even fit in there.
Mate, I don't know, but if you could get in there, I probably could, because I feel like I'm half the size of you. Either way, mate, have a great race today, and then we'll have a bench press contest one day. Up for it.
One arm.
One arm bench press.
Hey, Sheamus, come along. Come on, buddy. Jimmy Johnson's over here. We'll talk to him. Hey, bud, how are you? Ready to go? Ready to go?
I am. Will he be around for security after the race?
Ryan Newman.
Jimmy, I love your sandwiches, man. I swear to God, I'm just a big fan of I just love it, especially the extra meat. I know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you ever eat a Jimmy John sandwich while you're driving in a NASCAR race?
A little messy, Like being in the ring, be a little messy.
I feel like
that's his beautiful wife, Shani.
Hello, how are you doing?
This is my friend
nice
Sheamus.
To meet you.
He's going to take care of a few things for me later. Good to see you.
Yeah,
congratulations on all this.
A lot of people here have problems with him.
Let's go see who else we can find. Here's William Byron. Sheamus, come on. He doesn't come along like I'd like him to. He's always running behind. Hey. Hi, I brought Sheamus along. If anybody messes with you, let me know.
Oh boy, yeah, that's for sure.
Look at him right there. Look, we're gonna move on. Joey Logano. There's Joey.
Where you going?
Sheamus, come this way.
Where you going? Where's he going?
Down here to Joey Logano. Come on. Hey Joey.
Over 18 yet?
You ready to go? The Daytona 500. I know you know how good it feels to win this, baby.
It feels good. I was just talking to Paul on here. I said, what a great day for a great day. This is amazing, the energy here. And you see those Thunderbirds flying over here in a little bit, and the president, it'll get more American than this.
Look who I brought with me. It doesn't get much Irish than this.
How are you doing, lads?
WWE superstar Sheamus. Ricky Stenhouse is sitting on the pole.
He's running all over the kip. It's going to be no soles left on his shoes.
Hey, Ricky.
Best look in the race today.
Mike.
Great to see you again.
Good to see you. I got Sheamus with me. Just introducing him to NASCAR. He's a big fan. And this is the pole sitter, Sheamus. He beat everybody on qualifying day. Now he's going to do it in the race.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
How do you feel being better than everybody?
It feels good to beat everybody. Yeah. Now we got to do it one more time.
I mean, it's only 500 miles, right?
Yeah, short race, quick race.
Do Proclaimer style, man. You know what I mean? Just go there, start singing, and the race will be over in no time. You got this.
I like to sing while I drive.
You do?
Prime country.
Really? What's your favorite song?
Neon Moon. Brooks and Dunn.
What are you doing?
I'll have to check that one out.
Garth Brooks, either one.
Okay, Garth Brooks, I can relate to that. Yeah, I can relate to that. He's off again. He's off again. Energizer Bunny.
Can't keep up.
Good luck.
Sheamus, get over here.
You're already bigger than me. Why do you need him?
Because I don't fight well. I got an 0-3 record.
You know what it
Who
is?
says I fight well?
You know what it is? He wants to be here beside him so he can show off his great talent. He's been working on this all year, especially for the Daytona 500.
It is a little bit of a contrast.
Complete contrast.
For sure. My beard's way better than yours, though.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so.
It doesn't look like beard, man. It looks like a little bit of bump fluff, to be honest with you.
It's an attempt, and that's all that matters.
I don't know what that is he just said, but
it doesn't matter. People in Ireland know what it means. That's all that matters. I know what it means.
Hey, what? Can you put him in a headlock for me?
No! Why you gotta do me like that?
Man, especially with this BO walking around here all day, I don't know.
I smelled you way back there.
I swear to God, I can smell myself too. You might pass out before the race.
Okay, you stay here. I'm gonna go get one more guy.
All right, he's leaving, so now we can have the cool people still be here.
Awesome.
What do you think of the Valvoline colors? They look pretty good.
You know, man, it's really, really clean. You know, I like it. I like it. Like it's really good. Like it's not overdone with sponsors. You know what I mean? It's just got the right amount of sponsors.
It is the best looking car on the track.
Exactly. And everyone loves a bit of Valvoline. You know, on your toast, in your tea, in your coffee.
I drink it in my coffee.
You do?
Yeah.
I swear to God, that gets you going in the morning, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, Seamus.
Best of luck today.
Thank you.
I'm going to talk to Eric Amarillo. You ready for the Great American Race, bud?
I was born ready.
It's a beautiful day, great atmosphere. How good does this feel?
It feels so incredible to come out here, the Great American Race, and to see this place sold out. The infield is packed. They sold out of camping in the infield. I think we're expecting 200,000 people here at Daytona. It's an incredible stage for us to put our sport on, and my Smithfield Ford Mustang's really fast, so we'll see what happens.
Nobody wants it any worse than you, I know. So close a year ago.
Only 39 other guys.
Well, have fun
we'll
today.
See if we can't get them.
Have fun today.
Thank you, buddy.
Looking forward to the Great American.
You got two of them, right?
Yeah, go fast. Go up front. Stay there. Don't fart around with being in the back.
Be the first one back over there, right?
After 200 times, that'd be really good.
I'll do my best.
Okay, buddy. Thank you. It's a great atmosphere down on pit road. I lost Seamus. He think he's fallen in love with Alex Bowman, but it's a great day. Can't wait for this race to get started. So much energy, so much excitement. This is my favorite place in the world. This is my favorite day of the year. We'll be back at Daytona just in a minute.
Last time I bought a used car, I ended up paying too much. It's pretty embarrassing for me and my whole family. The car had multiple owners and accidents. That website didn't know.
Carfax has a better way. Only Carfax.com can give you the most accurate price based on the Carfax report, so you never have to overpay on a used car again.
This is anonymous, right?
Stop the shame of overpaying and start your used car search today at the all-new Carfax.com.
With Pizza Hut's new Mozzarella Poppers Pizza, you can switch between 16 fried mozzarella bites and a large pizza. Pizza then app. App then pizza. It's your world. We're just making pizza in it. Hurry and try it before it's gone. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
I am First, the place where it all started. I am dreams coming true and nightmares too. The place where the season begins. I am 101,000 hearts skipping a beat. I am wide open, faster than fast, predictably unpredictable. I am the wind that beats all other winds. I am what you've been waiting for, and I am about to go off. I am the Daytona 500. I am NASCAR.
Here's the America I know, a country that puts working together ahead of standing apart, where we find common ground to expand health care and build a stronger, fairer economy and save our planet. I'm a problem solver. I build teams. I nurture good ideas. I hold myself accountable for results. It's how I led a complex, diverse city, and it's how I'll unite and lead this country.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
The XFL continues next weekend as the Dallas Renegades visit the Seattle Dragons on Saturday. Meanwhile, the DC Defenders head west to face the LA Wildcats on Sunday. Football is back, and it's here on Fox Sports.
The big events on Fox, nearly 500 acres here at Daytona International Speedway. And if you laid out a football field in the middle, in the infield area, well, the fans will have that covered now, but that's what it would look like. as we get ready for the start of the 62nd running of the Great American Race. Thanks for hanging with us on the pre-race show presented by Coca-Cola. Jamie McMurray, former Daytona 500 winner. I'm Chris Myers. We're getting a little bit closer. You've won this race this close to the start. Are the drivers anxious, nervous, or is there a sense of relief that finally they're behind the wheel and ready to open this up for 500 miles?
Yes, to all of
all of that.
Yeah, I mean, look, you finally get to have that last face-to-face conversation with your crew chief. You get in your car, you take a deep breath, and you start thinking about your game plan. What's going to happen? You know, you're looking at your pit stall. Just get ready for those first few laps of this race.
And there is the chance of later in the day some weather coming in at some point in the race. That may affect how fast, how aggressive some of the drivers start out this race. We're glad you're watching Fox NASCAR live from Daytona and special opening ceremonies here in Daytona.
NASCAR fans, please welcome the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump. Here to perform God Bless America, please welcome the River Springs Middle School Choir. Please remain standing as Ronnie Barton, former pastor of First Baptist Church of South Daytona, offers our invocation.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we thank you for this great day for the Daytona 500. We pray for the safety of all the drivers and all the pit crews. Lord, we thank you and for your blessings. We thank you for the military, our country, our president. We live in freedom, we worship in peace, and we raise our sights to your glory. We are the United States of America, and we are still one nation under God. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Presenting our nation's colors is the North Florida Joint Service Color Guard from Jacksonville, Florida. Here to perform the national anthem, please welcome from the United States Air Force Joint Base, Anacostia Bowling, Washington, D.C., Tactical Sergeant Nalani Quintello.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
With the Ram 1500 EcoDiesel, you get best-in-class torque and towing, which gives you all the grit without sacrificing efficiency. Load up on technology without limits, and take on every job without compromise. Ram 1500, the most awarded light-duty pickup in America.
Now get an average $11,505 in total values on the 2020 Ram 1500 EcoDiesel, plus these additional incentives.
Where can a healthier heart lead you? For people with heart failure taking Entresto, it may lead to a world of possibilities. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
The sports world is buzzing about the XFL. And this week should be even better. Tonight, after the race on FS1. The sports world is buzzing about the XFL.
It's XFL football, man.
And this week should be even better.
That was gorgeous.
St. Louis, Houston, tonight at 6 Eastern on FS1.
Toward the top, toward the championship. Kobe Kingston climbing the ladder. This is your chance to seize the moment. We got a new champion. Here is your winner.
We're getting closer to the start of the Daytona 500 as we welcome it back live on Fox. Let's head down to the track now and join our Jamie Little, who's with President Donald Trump.
Thank you, Chris. Well, Mr. President, of all the events that you can attend, why did you decide to come here today to the Great American Race?
It really is the Great American Race, and I look at this as almost a patriotism kind of thing. It's incredible. The people are incredible. We love the area. We love the state, and it's a very exciting. You know, I've been here 4 times before as a civilian, and now I'm in a different capacity. We love NASCAR, and we love the people of NASCAR.
And you mentioned you have been here before, the last time, though, back in 2001. So what is it about NASCAR that you enjoy personally?
I think it's really the bravery of these people. I mean, these are very, they do all the safety things and everything, but it takes great courage. It's the speed. It's really the technology. You look at what's happened just over the last 10 years with the cars. I love to see it. I love to watch it.
Okay, so inquiring minds want to know, as the president, are you allowed to drive your own car?
Well, I'm not, but I think I'm going to really, right now, if I can, I'm going to hop into one of these cars and I'm going to get into this race if possible.
All right, you heard it here first.
Yeah, I love the idea.
Right, thank you for being here. Enjoy your time.
Great honor.
Thank you. Chris?
Thank you very much. First Commander-in-Chief, first President to give the command for the Daytona 500 as the Grand Marshal with Jamie McMurray as the drivers. And you touched on it a moment ago. Anticipation, relaxation at this point, getting ready to roll. And we're just minutes away from those drivers who will run 500 miles and maybe more. There's stage racing involved, but nothing like finishing first in the Daytona 500. How about an interesting comment from Kevin Harvick about this year more than any other because of the way they used to run and trying to block, that survival is as important in this race as anything.
Well, if you watched the clash last Sunday, like we had a lot of wrecks towards the end. Now the guys, they were careful in the duels and made sure that they made it to the end. But today, look, when it comes down to the end, it's going to be chaotic. And I think Kevin's right. I mean, survival is going to be a big deal.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who's on the pole at age 32, a different team. His entire career he had been with Roush Racing, fast in qualifying, fast in racing. He's got super speedway success.
Yep.
How will that play out here?
Well, look, what a way to start with his new team. He and Brad and Patty, he brought over his crew chief from Roush Fenway Racing. He was really good in the duels. We saw him get hung out a couple times on the bottom, was able to pull back up. I think everyone knows how fast Ricky's car is, and that's a big deal when we come to these kind of tracks. When people know you have a fast car, they're willing to help you.
Let's head upstairs to the booth. Welcome in Mike Joy. Will be calling the race along with Jeff Gordon, who was with us on the pre-race and has worked his way up there getting ready to give this a call. Mike?
Hi, Chris, and hello, everybody. What an electric day, and just the atmosphere here in Daytona is always huge. It's the biggest race of the year, and made today even more so. We've been down here for 10 days in Speed Weeks 2020, and Friday they have something on the calendar called TV Exhibition Time. Fox didn't have anything planned. I thought I'd have the whole track to myself. This could be a lot of fun.
What? You were on the track Friday?
What?
I've been coming to Daytona since 1975, so I asked the boys to get me a Wayback Machine so I could go out on the track and reminisce a little bit. Really?
All right, Daytona. So much speed, and more speed.
History here. Right about here is where Cale Yarborough made his move, put Donnie down off into...
This place is so awesome fast.
This is where Lee Petty and Johnny Beauchamp went out of the park in 19...
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Life on this track moves pretty...
won the most Daytona 500s.
Well, we asked Kyle Busch what his plan was, and he wouldn't tell us. We're going to find out here in a little bit. Clearly, they don't have the numbers. Denny Hamlin's going to the back. Kyle Busch is already in the back. So we're going to find out at the beginning kind of what their plan is.
Yeah, and those cars going to the back. In a race 500 miles with the kind of movement we have, and you and Jeff Gordon talked about it on the pre-race show just a little bit, you have an opportunity to kind of move your way around. So how aggressive do you want to be, even to maybe get that first stage? I know the ultimate goal was be there at the end.
Look, we've seen them crash coming to the stage finishes, and you don't want to do that. If you're involved in one of those, you swear you'll never do it again when you come back to Daytona. So, look, I don't expect these guys to be too crazy at the beginning because the ultimate trophy is at the end, and that's what everybody wants today.
Yeah, will it be a guy who's won the Daytona 500 before, like a Denny Hamlin or a Jimmy Johnson, or will it be a champion driver like Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski or Martin Truex, who've been a champ of the sport but have yet to win the Great American Race? You got to tune in, wait 500 miles to find it out. We're glad you're watching Fox NASCAR live from Daytona International Speedway.
NASCAR fans, to welcome back your United States Air Force Thunderbirds and to deliver the most famous words in motorsports at the Daytona 500, please welcome this year's Grand Marshal, the 45th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, accompanied by First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump.
Daytona International Speedway, we love our country, and it's truly an honor to be with all of you at the Great American Race. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Coming up, Jeff Gordon, Mike Joy, our entire Fox NASCAR crew take you for a wild ride. We're glad you're watching the Daytona 500, the 2020 edition, live from Daytona International Speedway.
Done yet?
Yeah, sorry.
You sure?
If you ride, you get it. Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Doing the things we love can be painful. Aspercream's triple effect provides targeted relief, works in minutes, lasts for hours. Love hurts. Aspercream works.
Make fitness routine with Pure Protein.
High protein, low sugar, tastes great.
High protein, low sugar, so good.
High protein, low sugar, birthday cake.
And try Pure Protein delicious protein shakes.
It's a familiar story. Allergies ruining your sleep and next day too. Taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin and on first dose provides the same relief as Zyrtec at nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
I'm 52, but in my mind, I'm still 25. That's why I take Osteo Biflex to keep me moving the way I was made to. It nourishes and strengthens my joints for the long term.
Osteo Biflex, now in triple strength plus magnesium.
I am back. After months away, I return. I am the humble beginning for some and the triumphant return for others. I am where seasons are made and history is written. I am a year-long, furious journey. And in the end, the one name forever etched in history is anyone's guess.
He is joining elite company. Proud of you, buddy.
I am the 2020 NASCAR Cup Series. I am NASCAR.
It's the pay-per-view event of the decade. Wild and Fury 2, Saturday on pay-per-view or buy now on the Fox Sports app.
Lined up on pit road at Daytona, 40 NASCAR Cup race cars, 4 pace and safety vehicles, and 2 presidential limousines. Let's go to race control.
7, you got me.
Mr. President and First Lady, would you please do us the honor of leaving the field for the Daytona 500?
Well, this is indeed a first. Donald Trump is the second sitting president to attend the Daytona 500. George W. was here in 2004. A race won by the man who will wave the green flag for today's race, Dale Earnhardt Jr. But this is truly an historic first. A sitting United States president pacing the field for the Great American Race. He said he wanted to do a lap. He's going to do it.
Well, he is the president. He has that right. And I just can't imagine, as a driver, as a competitor, the magnitude of this. This only builds up what is the Great American Race and one of the biggest races in the world to put that much pressure on you to win this race today.
I'm not sure how this idea came about, but I have an inkling. A phone call was received the other day in Franklin, Tennessee, at the home of our former colleague Darrell Waltrip, who retired from broadcasting at the end of the 2019 season, asking him to fly to Palm Beach this morning and join President Trump on Air Force One on the ride up here to Daytona. So I would not be surprised if Darrell had a little hand in what we're about to see.
Maybe he's giving him some tips down there about those high banks here at Daytona.
And are the drivers excited about this? Well, here's Clint Boyer's radio.
He's going to pace the field? Yep. Love it. Gosh, it's awesome.
You know, Mike, people ask me, do you miss it? You know, are you jealous of those competitors out there? Today, right now, I am. I would love to be in this Daytona 500 field out there competing today. This is just so special.
Now, we know that at least 70 miles an hour is required to keep those cars up on the banking. Those presidential limousines, which are built on truck chassis, weigh about 22,000 pounds, will probably not be doing 70 through the 31-degree banking of turns 1 and 2. But we'll stay down on the apron.
Now, you think when he finishes this lap, is he going to do a burnout? What kind of horsepower is underneath the hood of that car?
Well, Jeff, our Fox graphic department came up with a comparison between the NASCAR Cup cars and what Secret Service calls the Beast, the presidential limousine, built by Cadillac on a truck chassis. With Cadillac sheet metal, it's 2 feet longer than the Cup car, and it's a little heavier at 22,000 pounds. Horsepower and top speed is sufficient, but unknown. It's been estimated that those side windows are 5 inches thick of bulletproof glass, and that the sheet metal is some 8 inches thick, as it's fully armored. And of course, seating capacity 7 for the limo and 1 for our Cup cars.
Only thing I wish they'd have modified on that limo is put a spoiler on that rear deck lid, just for NASCAR.
Well, it does have a couple of antennas for communication, after all. Not sure what those flags on the front fender are going to do for aerodynamics. Nor do we care. Donald Trump is the 4th sitting United States president to attend a race here. Ronald Reagan gave the command to start from Air Force One and was here when Richard Petty drove to his 200th victory over Cale Yarborough in a Firecracker 400. George H.W. Bush, the summer of '92, and George W. Bush, the 2004 Daytona 500. Bill Clinton campaigned at Darlington at a NASCAR race, but the president with the closest ties to the sport was Jimmy Carter. One of Jimmy's closest friends in Georgia when he was governor was Alf Knight, the longtime superintendent of Atlanta Motor Speedway. Jimmy would come down, be a visitor to the track often, and was honorary starter for a race there when he was governor. Someone on Twitter took a picture of the presidential limousine and emblazoned a NASCAR-style number 45 on the door, but that idea was rejected in favor of the presidential seal.
Well, we know these race fans, they've been ready all week. They're super excited, waving flags of their favorite driver, but I got to imagine there's a lot of American flags waving out in that infield right now as we get ready to take the green flag here.
And if you're a fan of professional cars, limousines, and the like, there is a great exhibit of presidential limousines of the past at the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan. And a big roar from the crowd as they come past. The green and American flags are waving from the flag stand. That's a sight for the ages right there. A very special moment for our sport. After all, what sporting event would not want to have the President of the United States in attendance, much less to get the party started? Welcome to Daytona. We're ready. We've been ready for 10 days for the biggest and first race of the 2020 NASCAR Cup season, the 62nd Daytona 500. Rookie or veteran, no matter how long you've been coming to this event, there are butterflies. There have to be. Jeff Gordon has won this thing 3 times, and I'll bet even you're just a little nervous right now.
Well, we've got some rookies in the field today. I'm sure those butterflies are going crazy right now. But even the veterans, I mean, there's nothing like the buildup, the amount of hard work that goes into preparing for the Daytona 500, the biggest race of your career, one of the biggest races in the world. I guarantee you there's a lot of butterflies, but we got 500 miles to decide the winner of this race.
All right, we'll take you through it. 3 stages of racing in the biggest event of the year. Let's begin with our starting lineup. Ricky Stenhouse, an aggressive 2-time super speedway winner, and Alex Bowman, 3rd straight 500. He'll be on the front row. Row 2, Joey Logano, who won his dual race here Thursday, and William Byron, who did as well. They earned the 2nd row spots. Then it'll be Eric Almirola, who has 2 Cup wins, and Jimmy Johnson beginning his final full season in NASCAR. Ryan Newman, a former winner of the Daytona 500, and Kyle Larson, who ran out of gas leading in 2017.
And in row 5, Brad Keselowski, yet to win the Daytona 500 in 10 attempts. And you just heard me say my pick for the day, Kevin Harvick, 2007 Daytona 500 champion.
Bubba Wallace, runner-up 2 years ago, and Cole Custer, one of 6 rookies in the field. Austin Dillon, the 2018 winner, and Eric Jones, who won the Clash here last weekend.
Row 8, starting 15th, Mark Truex Jr., oh so close in 2016. Watch for him to be a real threat today. And alongside him, Matt DiBenedetto led the most laps last year in the 500. Now with a team, the Wood brothers, who are the last to have an underdog win this race.
Christopher Bell, one of the big 3 from the Xfinity Series, moving to Cup this year, and 2017 winner Kurt Busch. Chris Buescher returns to Ford and to Roush Racing this season, and Ross Chastain. Denny Hamlin won 2 of the last 4 500s. He'll have to go to the rear for inspection issues, and 2-time Xfinity champ Tyler Reddick. John Hunter Nemechek, his dad, is running this race. He's a rookie. And Ty Dillon, who finished top 10 his last 3 Daytona starts. Chase Elliott, 2nd generation, NASCAR's most popular driver, and Michael McDowell, 2 top 10s in the last 2 500s. Ryan Blaney has gone to a backup car after a crash earlier in the week, and the defending series champion, Kyle Busch. Clint Boyer, it's his 15th try to win the 500. Will this be the day? And David Reagan, who has a great record on super speedways, coming out of a brief retirement.
In row 16, starting 31st, you want to know who has the best active average finish of active drivers? Ryan Preece, alongside him, an emotional day, making it into the race on Thursday, racing his way in, Timmy Hill.
Justin Haley won here last July. Brennan Poole, a rookie. Quinn Houff, another rookie in row 18 with 3rd generation racer Corey LaJoie. Joey Gase and BJ McLeod in the 19th row. And in the last row, getting in on speed, 44-year-old veteran Brendan Gaughan, who announces he'll retire at the end of this season, and Reed Sorensen, who also timed into the Great American Race. Moving to the front of the 40-car field is car number 48, the only number that Jimmy Johnson has ever run in his Cup Series campaign. The only owner he's ever driven for is Rick Hendrick in one of Rick's Chevrolets. 7 championships, tying Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt on the all-time title list.
Not one to show emotion, but Mike, I gotta believe underneath that helmet, Jimmy is feeling the impact of this final Daytona 500 leading this field. What a moment.
A lap of honor for Jimmie Johnson as he starts his final full season and what may be his final 500. Before we get things started here in Daytona, let's rev up to green, brought to you by Toyota.
Toyota's season kicked off with an emotional win in the Daytona 500 by Denny Hamlin and the number 11 Camry that carried J.D. Gibbs' name above the door. Just a month after the family and the sport said goodbye. Martin Truex Jr. went on to sweep the Toyota races at Richmond and Sonoma. And with 3 Toyotas competing for a championship in Miami, it was Kyle Busch who claimed his second Cup championship and third for Toyota. Time now to get revved up for what 2020 will bring.
Field comes by the start-finish line, yellow flag waving, indicating another couple of pace laps, and time to talk to our defending series champ.
Hey, Kyle, this is Jeff and Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
And I got to say, I don't think I've ever felt a Daytona 500 like this to get this green flag. You've done it all, man. You've won 2 championships, so many races. You've dominated this sport. I got to ask you, even as a veteran, do you have butterflies right now as we get ready to take the green?
Not really. Just try to put all that out. Just focus on what's ahead. Focus on this race. Try to make all the best moves that you can, and know that everybody else has probably got some of that going on with them. So maybe, first little bit, let everybody work their jitters out and everything, and then get down to business. But overall, for me, like you said, been here a while. When I first started, I remember my first Daytona 500. You won that one, so that one was certainly a bit of butterflies.
Well, you've never been one to just sit back and kind of let the race come to you. I'm just curious, if the opportunity presents itself here early on, you're starting probably further back than you'd like. Will you take some risk? Will you take some chances if you see something that maybe opens up for you?
No, my notebook says manage risk, so try to do that all day long and put yourself in the best position you can at the end. You got to be in it to win it. So, there's nothing that pays besides stage points. We'd love to get stage points, but there's nothing that means as much as collecting that checker flag at the end of the day.
Well, we're certainly all looking forward to watching you. Good luck. Thanks for talking to us.
Got it. Thanks.
Risk management for Kyle Busch in the early going here of 200 laps at Daytona. Let's get down to our Fox NASCAR All-Star pit crew, beginning with Vince Welch.
Well, Mike, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was fired from his ride at the end of last season. Today, he finds himself with a new team starting on the pole of the sport's biggest race. Stenhouse is full of motivation and confidence, and his car has proven it is full of speed. And Stenhouse believes that's a combination capable of carrying him to a Daytona 500 victory today. Matt Yoakum.
Vince, Martin Truex Jr. has written a lot of history over the past decade and a half. A championship cemented his place in the sport forever, but what's missing? The period, a Daytona 500 victory. Now, every driver will tell you that they've got a great shot to win. Truex firmly believes that. He says that he, too, has to manage risk. If he's there at the end, he's got a car that will do anything he wants it to do. He thinks it'll be driving right into victory lane. Jamie Little?
Are you looking for a driver to cheer for today? Well, how about somebody who's fun, exciting, who happens to call Tony Stewart his boss man and will probably throw the biggest party in Daytona if he won? Look no further than Clint Boyer. He's never won this race, and today he has a new crew chief. Johnny Klausmeyer told me it's his job to keep him focused. He thinks they have a good enough car to bring it home to victory lane. Regan Smith.
Well, Jamie, Denny Hamlin is already a 2-time winner of the Daytona 500, including last year's race, the 2019 champion. But in pre-race tech, his car failed earlier today. That means he will have to go to the back of the pack. The good news is the team said this race car is just as good as last year's. Should he get his way all the way through the pack to win again today, he would join a list of only 5 drivers who have ever won this race 3 times. Mike?
Thanks, Regan. We are ready to race in Daytona for 500 miles, 200 laps, a race that'll be divided into 3 stages, adding more elements to strategy. So in our Fox Control Center, we have one of the best for strategy and analysis, Larry McReynolds.
Well, Mike, while you and Jeff were joyriding earlier in the week around Daytona International Speedway on one of your 3 off days, I might add, I've been back here crunching numbers for my strategy, wearing this calculator out. Now, the strategy is going to be all over the place, but to create that strategy, I had to take a look at the race analysis, so I want to share the race analysis with you right now. We're going to go for 200 laps, 500 miles. The stages, 65, 65, and the run to the checkered flag will be 70. Look at that pit road speed. It's important, 55 miles per hour. And Mike, this is what's going to be critical for the strategy. Fuel window, 38 to 42 laps, and you look so good in that Gremlin.
Well, the difference was I got to take mine home, Larry. Well, Jeff had to return that Camaro to Hertz.
I did. That's a rental car. Hard to believe, 750 horsepower in that thing.
Check the tire depth. All right, President Trump paced the field, and then he asked for an official's radio to all the drivers and crews.
Drivers, this is President Trump, and it was an honor to open the Daytona 500. Have a phenomenal day. Have a great race. Be safe. God bless you. We love you.
If you weren't nervous before, how about now?
My goodness. What a way to get the 2020 season kicked off.
7 former Daytona 500 winners in the field. 17 former 500 winners on site here in Daytona. As the lights are out atop the safety car, we'll look for green flag next time by. It was very sunny this morning as folks were lined up to get into the big stadium here. Here's our Fox weather app showing 78 degrees right now. It's going to be cooler as the day goes on and get a bit cloudier.
These drivers have not been on track with all 40 cars. They've not been on track with these kinds of warm temperatures in a draft. I think that, these first couple laps are going to tell them a lot about the kind of day they're going to have and the kind of race car they're going to have.
Ricky Stenhouse has chosen the outside of row 1. And here's a look at our Fox onboard cameras today. Former winner Austin Dillon, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, and Kyle Larson, and Jimmy Johnson, who's carrying our Fox visor cam today. There's a look lower right at what it's like going around Daytona International Speedway from the driver's seat.
There's no better perspective. I mean, you want to know what it's like driving in the draft at 200 miles per hour? That is the angle.
Drivers weaving back and forth, trying to clean any loose sand or grit off their tires, maybe get a little heat in them. And there's Jimmy Johnson.
Got you here, little fuel savings there, Mike. I mean, even though they haven't taken the green flag, the more they can save, the better they'll be when that first pit stop comes.
As we get ready to race in Daytona, the 2020 Toyota Camry TRD leads the field. WWE superstar Sheamus, the pace car driver today.
He was fun in our pre-race. That was a good time, him and Michael.
Turn 4, bank 31 degrees on the east side, the ocean side of the speedway. They'll come down onto the flat 1,200-foot short chute and address themselves to Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the green flag. So, folks, for the 20th season of Fox NASCAR coverage, if you've got a favorite saying, keep that in mind.
Please hold.
Please hold. A couple of sprinkles on the windshields, we're told. So we're going to try this one lap from now.
As if the anticipation, the anxiety that you're getting ready to take the green flag, and all these drivers care about right now is getting that green flag, because once the green flag waves, and now you're in the race mode. But right now, even that, this pace lap, you're still thinking, you're overthinking. What's my, how's our strategy going to work? What's my car going to drive like? So there's nothing worse than getting another delay right there off of the last corner.
We have a couple of drivers racing in their final 500, including 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson.
I flash back to watching this race with my grandfather and my dad sitting on the couch in San Diego. I recall coming through the tunnel my first time, so excited to come in, pop through the turn 4 tunnel, and that black number 3 car went by. And the feeling, the goosebumps, the experience, it was like, I'm here.
Thoughts of a champion. 7-time.
Yeah, and here's something else that we're going to be bringing you today for the very first time in the Daytona 500. Jimmie Johnson, we talk about his fitness level. We're going to be carrying a heart rate monitor in his race car and following along. Right now, I mean, this guy he's unbelievable. Resting heart rate like 40 beats per minute. Right now, getting ready to take the green flag at 75 beats per minute.
Still a few drops of water on the windshield as 2-time Daytona 500 winner Dale Earnhardt Jr. has the green flag in hand. However, this is the narrowest portion of the Florida Peninsula. It does not have any mountains or big land masses to break up showers, so we get these little pesky pop-up showers, and we've been plagued with them now 3 times throughout this speed week.
When you said pop-up, Mike, I mean, that came out of nowhere. You look at this radar, nothing on it, you know, until you go further back, but just that tiny little pop-up just happened to land right over the top of the Daytona International Speedway.
There's the problem, Jeff. That's the narrowest part of Florida right there, and there's no big cities to break these things up once they start to build. Fortunately, it is clear behind this, so we are hopeful of getting this Daytona 500 underway shortly. Come on, Mother Nature. It's not supposed to rain on our parade. It's Daytona 500 Day.
No one likes to feel stuck, boxed in, or held back, especially by something like your cloud. It's a problem, but the IBM Cloud is different. It's the most open and secure public cloud for business. It can manage all your apps and data anywhere, so it can help take on anything, from rebooking flights on the fly to restocking shelves on demand, without getting in your way.
Hi, my name's Robert. Oh, this is my house. I live here. I'm here to talk to you about home security. Simply Safe Home Security. As a full-time burglar and part-time con man, I know home security better than most. And as one of the people responsible for protecting my home and my family, I only trust Simply Safe. It has everything you need to blanket your home with protection. And Simply Safe is just $15 a month with no contract. A total steal. So take it from an expert. Get Simply Safe and protect home like a pro.
Hey, Mom! Lazy, bad dragon, back to your lair.
2 brothers.
We're going on a quest. Put it in O. We're onward.
24 hours.
We only have 1 day to bring back Dad.
One crazy adventure.
I got you.
Oh, no.
What happened?
Looks like you shrunk me.
Disney and Pixar's Onward.
I have to go to the bathroom. Can it wait? It's your pocket.
Rated PG, March 6th.
It's time. You've waited over 2 months for this. Some have waited a lifetime. Drivers, start your engines! And a legend straps in one last time at the Great American Race.
You know that green flag's getting ready to wave in the air, and your heart is pounding out of your chest.
So push the limits, take some chances, and have 2 colors on your mind.
That's storybook stuff right there.
That was meant to be.
Black and white. It's time. Let's go racing at the Daytona 500.
The Daytona 500 on Fox. Ready to take the green flag from Daytona International Speedway. That is Time by the Chambers Brothers. That's on my playlist on the way to the racetrack.
I love that song.
I love that.
And guess what? The time is today for these drivers. They've been waiting all week, practicing the duels,
And the rain has stopped. It is now sunshine in turn number 1, where that brief shower came across from the west. However, we have to get the track completely dry before we can race with the treadless Goodyear tires on these stock cars. They are not rain tolerant. Let's see if Matt Yoakum is.
Well, Mike, you are correct. Your forecast, the rain has already stopped. And Jimmy, again, a number of things that you're going through as your first of last. So this is your first last Daytona 500 start where we've got a red flag for rain.
Yeah, it's a bummer for the fans. I hate it for everybody at home watching, everybody up here that bought a ticket. But it's gone already, so the sun will be out. Hopefully the track will dry quickly. But pretty amazing opening ceremonies for a lot of reasons there. That was really cool for my final Daytona 500.
So many things you're going to experience this year. Do you take every weekend and try to soak up everything, or you try to block it out just to get going down the road so you can meet that final journey at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge for myself this year is to slow down, let it in, kind of enjoy the moments, maybe stay a little longer, go in a little earlier, and just savor those moments for myself, with my team, most importantly with my family. We're really excited about this year, and I know we're going to be really competitive, and I really let it in.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Vince?
And Ricky Stenhouse Jr., our pole winner, just climbed out of his car, and of course now it's not raining at all. What was the anticipation like as you guys were getting ready to start?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Right when we took the one to go, we went into turn 1, and the windshield started getting wet. I was hoping it was going to hold off, but looks like they shouldn't be too long getting it back dry, and hopefully we can get this Daytona 500 underway. A lot of anticipation with my team and I. We've been ready to go. We've felt really good since the duels on Thursday, and just kept fine-tuning our Kroger Camaro, getting ready for today's race. This will push us ending, a little bit later, and I felt like my car was really good at nighttime in the duels, so kind of happy about that.
Something to keep our eye on. Thanks, Ricky. Jamie?
And Austin Dillon out of his car now in his pit box, starting 13th, but man, all pumped up and then this. So what do you do now?
The hype was real. I felt it. It was good. I just want to thank all the fans for showing up here and the president. This is awesome. Got to thank our partners, Bass Pro Shops, Dow, American Ethanol, everybody that helps us. It's going to be a fun race. Every Sunday you wake up ready to race, but this one just feels a little different.
How about your crew chief? Justin Alexander is back. You guys won this race together. You won the 2 biggest races of your career together. What's it like having him back on the box?
It's good. He's a real calming voice, and he's helped me along the way to get some victories. So hopefully tonight we're going to be 2-time champions after into this. That would be the best thing. So we're working hard at RCR to get our cars where they need to be, and feel like we've had a 6th and a 2nd in Speedway so far. We just got to get a little further forward. We've been there at the end of every one of them, so hopefully today it's the same.
Austin Dillon, the number 3, Regan.
Well, for the 3rd year in a row, Alex Bowman is on the front row of the Great American Race. Alex, you had a pretty good view of that presidential limo this year, so tell me, how was their line out front there?
Yeah, that was pretty neat to be a part of. This whole event, the Daytona 500, is such a big deal, so that was cool to have the front row seat for it, and then see Jimmy up there too. That was really cool. But man, I'm ready to go. I'm bummed it rained. I just want to get racing. I feel like we've been here forever. And this Valvoline Camaro has been really good all week, so just ready to go.
All right, good luck when we get going, Alex.
Track crews making quick work of track drying. Let's take a look at what we have seen over the last 9 days here in Daytona. Ricky Stenhouse is our Daytona 500 pole sitter. And the green flag is out. The Busch Clash is underway. Eric Jones is going to win the Busch Clash with a car that's ready for the dumpster.
tape won't work after our fenders get bent up.
So it could be 200-mile-an-hour tape, but not in the rain. When you won here in 2007, it was a spectacular finish. You and Mark Martin racing to the finish. With the way the rain has hit and pushed us back, we could be racing into the dusk and darkness. Will that change anything, or pretty much because we had the duels at night that the notebook is full?
Aside from my vision being a little slower to transition from day to night than it was back then, you know, everything that we've done is at night so far. So I think as you look at the the qualifying races at least, and then we did the clash thing, so hopefully we don't do that again. But you know, I think as you look at our Busch Light Ford, it's handled really good all week. Our cars had a lot of speed. Just got to keep the thing rolling for 500 miles and try to be around at the end of this thing.
Winner in 2007, trying to become the 13th multi-time winner of the Great American Race. Mike?
Right, Matt, just a couple of those in the field. Denny Hamlin and Jimmy Johnson. Here are the former Daytona 500 winners in the field. So 2007 for Harvick. Let's advance 10 years to 2017. And the Great American Race, that number 41. That is Kurt Busch. And after a couple of 500s of pushing the winner to the line, he and crew chief Tony Gibson got to go to victory lane and celebrate winning the Great American Race. Here's Vince.
I still love that shot of old man celebrating. Hey, did you leave anything on the table when you celebrated after winning the Daytona 500, or did you use it all up?
To see old man right there, that's what got me pumped up. Of course not. We partied, we had a great time, and I had to leave the trophy finally at the shop because I kept carrying it around with me, taking it everywhere. And you know, even that night, you know, it was like 4:30 in the morning. I was with Gronkowski. Monster Energy sponsors him, and we're over at a club, and it's like, guys, we got to get to the breakfast deal in a couple hours. We really partied it up, and that's what it's all about, is the teamwork, the hard work, and the commitment. And when you win something this special, you want to appreciate it. And I think winning it later in my career helped me enjoy it more so.
And does it still have a great anticipation as you guys are out there on those pace laps in anticipation of another Daytona 500?
Yeah, you gotta block it all out. You know, you want to absorb the pageantry and the pre-race, and with our president being here, it's pretty special today. And just seeing the crowd, it's amazing. And this is my 20th run at it, and at the same time, it's like I gotta get my helmet on, go out there and drive and stay focused. But wow, I'm really proud of everybody in the effort down here in Florida, and to see this atmosphere. But man, Mother Nature, she always wins.
Yeah, there is a lot of energy down here. Best of luck today,
Thank
Kurt.
you. Appreciate it.
Mike.
Look at those shadows under the brim of that cap, because the sun is out in Daytona, and this track should dry pretty quickly. Kurt will be one of the drivers in the Cup Series, joining our Xfinity broadcast team this year, which debuted yesterday with anchor Adam Alexander and a couple of fellas named Keselowski and Boyer, and boy, did they have fun in the booth yesterday. Jamie Little.
Everything Boyer does, I think, is fun. He doesn't do it unless you're having fun. What was that like yesterday calling the Xfinity race?
Well, a lot of fun. You know, it's so much fun to go out there and bench race first and foremost, you know, and then to be able to do it at Daytona and watch such an awesome race. Those Xfinity boys put on a good show for us. That helps. That helps that job in the booth. Props to AA for being able to keep Brad and I under wraps. But, you know, you want to talk about an emotional roller coaster, look at us. You know, it's like getting on that roller coaster and loading up, and it's shut down for a minute. You know, that's what we got going on. But it gives these fans a chance to get that one last beer, get their butts back to the stands. We'll have this thing dried off and be able to go back underway. But, you know, it's a shame. It really is. It's hard to get buckled in, finally get everybody shut out, put the helmet on, get focused on your task at hand. A little bit of a setback, but it's the calm before the storm. You know it's brewing.
Hey, Brad Keselowski was in the booth with you. Do you have anything to say to him? We're going to him next.
For who? There's a turban. Look.
Loud.
Terrible timing for this interview, but Brad's next. Hopefully he'll be next after I win this thing. Maybe he can push me to a win. We'll just keep him behind me, all right?
Your buddies now bonding in the booth. Very good.
Well, we'll have to see if Brad Keselowski agrees with that. Clint said that you can push him to the win today. You guys are friends in the booth. You can be friends on the racetrack. Brad, talk to me a little bit about being in the booth yesterday. It was a lot of fun listening to you.
It was great. You know, as you might be able to tell, Clint took all the airtime with how much he talks. But other than that, it went really well. Regan, of course, we love the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and it's a great opportunity to give kind of a driver's perspective of what's happening. And so that was a great race yesterday. Hopefully we'll have a great race here when we get back on the racetrack. Just unfortunate pop-up rainstorm just kind of hit us out of nowhere, but the there's so much heat in the track that it's drying, I mean, instantly. You can see it out here. So I expect we'll be up and going here really fast.
Years ago, you had a very famous tweet with your cell phone during the race. I see you looking at your cell phone right now. So what does Brad Keselowski do during a rain delay with his cell phone these days?
Well, I was looking to see what my fans were tweeting me. I had a young kid tweet me a picture, had his face painted with a 2 on it. Thank you, buddy. But it's always something interesting. So social media is a lot of fun, but racing is more fun. Hopefully we'll get out there very soon.
All right, good luck when we get going, Brad.
Thanks, Regan. And NASCAR has jet dryers, and they have these air titans that blow very tightly compressed air right down next to the surface, and they do an excellent job both of moving water and also getting it to evaporate due to the high pressure, something that NASCAR developed and is used at tracks nationwide, designed just for situations like this.
Look how fast this back straightaway is drying. I really think we're going to go racing here much sooner than we normally would after a rain shower.
Brad Keselowski is part of Team Penske, the captain in an adjacent suite here, looking over the changes for 2020. The drivers kept their spotter and their number, but they changed teams and crew chiefs, entire teams, even the inventory of cars. For reaction, Matt Yoakum.
Paul Wolf told me earlier in Speed Weeks, really the only change that he had to deal with you was the fact that you like your digital dash pages different than what Brad Keselowski did.
I feel like there might be a little bit more than just that. He might be leaning on you a little bit less than that, but it's been a fun little change so far, and trying to just figure things out. It's bringing up a lot of new questions that otherwise we really wouldn't ask, with different thought process and theories on how to build a race car, how to run a race, the strategy side of it. So I still got a familiar voice up in the spotter stand with TJ, and he does good. So it's been a fun change, a lot of learning, and sure it'll be a little more of a learning curve as well, but I think there's a long runway ahead of us to win a lot of races this year at the Shell Penzo Ford.
Every kid dreams about that Harley J. Earl trophy, so where did you put it?
I got mine sitting at Clutch Studios in Charlotte, so
you have room for a second on the shelf.
There's room for a lot of trophies. You will make room for trophies. Hey, if you win enough races, you can buy room to make trophies.
Well, you know what? The sun will be setting soon. I will tell you this, Hunter Masling, his front tire changer, already has the lights ready to go on to swap out the visor for better illumination on those pit stops. Jamie?
Ty Dillon just trying to reset here. What happens in this moment? You guys are all fired up. First race of the year, the Daytona 500, and now you have to wait.
Yeah, you got so much energy building up, the hype of this great American race, and when something like this happens and the good Lord kind of shows you who's in charge again, you have to just relax a little bit, reset. I kind of put myself back into pre-race mode. There's so much that goes into a day like this that can drain you really quick before you even strap in the car to race for 4 hours. So just kind of rest my mind again and just lower my heart rate and get ready to go.
Ty, I feel like when we come to these places, you're always in the mix. You figured this style of racing out, and I talked to your crew chief. He said your car is good. What does a good car entail here?
A good car to me is a car that when I make moves, when I have to go from the top to the bottom or get on someone's door, or when they're on my door, I'm not unstable. And if I'm unsure, I'm not going to be able to run this race the way I want to. So I feel very confident in the car so I can make confident moves and put ourselves in a position. It's been really fun all week to have a car that drives really good, but it's a whole different mindset when you get to 500. I got to be one of those cars at the end of the race. The last couple of races, there's only been 10 or so cars. If I can be in that group, I promise my guys I can win a race. They put me in the final 2 rows at the end of this thing. So I'm excited to go. We have a really capable Geico Camaro, and hopefully it's our turn this time.
All right, Ty Dillon, the younger brother of Austin Dillon, waiting for this race to start, Regan.
Denny Hamlin just climbed down from the pit box, sitting up there with crew chief Chris Gabehart, having a little conversation. Denny, this is nothing more frustrating in the world for a race car driver. You get ready to get out here and go, but I guess the good news for you, you have got experience winning this race. You know how to deal with anything that can be thrown at you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been doing this for so long. You've seen everything, you know, rain delays in the middle of it, at the beginning of it, and at the end of it. So we'll take what it'll give us. It's just not giving us quite enough right now, but the sun's out. This is going to dry pretty quick. I wouldn't turn your channel just quite yet. So I'm looking forward to getting this FedEx Camry up towards the front. I definitely think that we had a strong car all week, and that shouldn't change today.
All right, good luck, Denny.
A 2-time Daytona 500 winner. One of the 5 Toyotas in the field. How about one of the powerhouse Ford teams, Stewart Haas Racing? Gene Haas of Haas Automation and Cup champion and Hall of Famer Tony Stewart. There are 4 Ford drivers and where they will be starting today. And here's the boss with Vince.
And when you've got 4 teams in a race, you got to move around on the pit box. Now, you know the drivers have their own special seats in the car. The owner of the team's got to have his own special seat to sit on the pit box. Is that to help your back or you help your butt, or what is that for?
Well, I climbed on the 14 box where I normally sit and went there, and all it was there was a step to sit on, which I'm a trooper. I can handle it. I was going to sit on the step for 500 miles, and then the red came out, and so I'm like, I'm going down to get my seat. When they switched the crew chiefs and the teams on the 14 and the 10, what they did not tell me is that they switched pit boxes too. So I thought I was going to my normal seat, and my seat was gone. So during the red, I just went down there and stole my seat back and bringing it down.
Your name's on the building now to have somebody make sure that's taken care of.
Yeah, but apparently if your name's first on the building, they don't pay near as much attention as when your name's second on the building. So maybe we need to make it Haas Stewart Racing, and I'll see if I can get better attention.
We'll look for a name change. In all seriousness, how would you assess the way the Stewart Haas cars have been so far over these course of the 10 days?
Oh, I'm happy with our speed. I mean, our Ford Mustangs are fast, and you know, you can't thank Doug Yates enough with Roush Yates engines. So we got great power, we got good cars. I think we got 4 good drivers that can get the job done. You just have to survive. I told all 4 of them, you just got to play this like you're Peyton Manning and call audibles all day long, because you have a plan and you want to stick to the plan, but there's 36 other cars out there that we don't have any control over that are always moving around and changing that plan. So you still got to have the master plan in your head of what you want to happen, but you still have to have the ability to, you know, change things. And if you see things that are happening in front of you that you don't like, you got to take care of yourself for the first half of this race. So they just have to be smart. They're the ones that are in the seats, and you know, they have to be comfortable with the decisions they make. So just hopefully they put themselves in positions that, you know, they have somewhere to go if something happens. They got a way to get away from it instead of being right in the middle of it.
Good luck with that seat.
Thanks. Yeah, thing's heavy too.
Jamie.
William Byron, the 22-year-old in the 24. So this time around, it's a little bit different than a year ago when you were making your Cup Series debut. How has it been different for you?
You know, this being kind of my 3rd time around, I feel like last year with the pole, everything was kind of brand new, being up front and being with Chad. And this year I just feel confident and excited to get going. And this rain delay puts a little bit of a damper in that. But I think, honestly, once you get in that car, you're really focused and ready to go. And you don't really think about anything else. So I'm just excited for that.
Usually when you guys come to speed weeks, everybody looks at the Hendrick cars. You guys have that raw speed. What should we expect from the 4 of you here for the race today?
I think you'll see a lot of speed out of all of us. I think Jimmy worked really hard on getting his car to push well and be pushed. And I think, honestly, this year with the way this aero package is, you can get a lot closer to the car in front of you and still be able to close the gap. So that's going to put a wrinkle in everything, I think, with pushing, and you're going to see a lot of bumper locking, especially down the backstretch and areas that the car is a little more settled. So we'll see. Hopefully we can all work together, but if the lanes get shuffled out, we'll just have to find our way back together eventually.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Matt?
Well, we go from the young cub to the old lion, Brendan Gaughan, his retirement race. Usually when you're retiring, you want to speed things up, but this is really dragging out your retirement tour.
Yeah, you know, this is definitely not what you expected in your last Daytona 500, but you know what? I'm too old. It takes too much energy to get in and out of these cars, so I'm just hanging out. Plus, Mr. Richardson, this has been my office for 20 years. I'm comfortable in this seat. I'm good here.
One thing that I love is that you're not only celebrating your career, but you're paying tribute to your family, who was always there with you along the way and helped supported you. And you went to Jason Beam, your helmet painter forever, in Vegas to put together a special lid for this final race. Tell me about it.
Yeah, this is my family's helmet. I got to use it last year a little bit. Beam got this done for me, but this is just a special helmet. Jason Beam's great. I tell him I want something for my family. He found an old picture of my grandfather. He found all my grandfather's old casinos. Found a great picture of my dad and my grandpa together back in the day. You notice, though, black and white. Grandpa was old. Dad's got color. Dad was a little younger, so he found all the old cool places. So Jason does a great job for us. Love him to death. Even suckered him into doing my nephew's helmet. He's just starting to race, so I got another one out of him.
All right, well, you're hanging up the helmet. You parking cars tomorrow at South Point?
No, I don't know if I'll be parking cars. Dad doesn't let me be near the South Point, but you know what? We'll be doing something in Vegas. We win this thing, we'll be doing something in Vegas.
We'll be doing something.
There we go.
All right, good luck, Mike.
And we'll be in Las Vegas next week with Fox NASCAR coverage. It's race number 2 of the season this year. So a lot of blue sky and a lot of light gray, which means dry racetrack. So we are closing in on once again trying to start the Daytona 500. Regan?
Well, John Hunter Nemechek sitting on pit wall here. You grew up around this racetrack. You've been around the sport your entire life, but today you make your first start in the Daytona 500. So I know we haven't gotten racing yet or anything like that, but you did get the motors cranked. What were the butterflies like as you got in that car?
I definitely had some butterflies. More than the duels, I would say, but at least we have the duels race under our belt. Same deal that happened. I mean, this is like deja vu all over again, sitting here talking to you. But I'm looking forward to today. Our sit guard forward, we made some really good adjustments Friday in practice, I felt like. So hopefully that'll be a good omen for today. I don't know exactly what our plan is. We're going to play it by ear, and we just got to be there at the end. That's the goal, run all the laps.
I hope you're right about the duels and deja vu because they were great races on Thursday evening. What do you expect out of this race once we get going today? And also give me your biggest memory as a kid of this place.
Yeah, my biggest memory of a kid, heck, it was Blaney and Chase and myself and Tyler Labonte and all of us kids. We were racing Razor scooters around the playground while you and Dad and everyone else was out here racing in the 500. So it's pretty cool to transfer off the playground track out here to the big track and be able to start my first Daytona 500. But I don't know how the race is going to play out today. The clash was one way and the duels were another. So I'm thinking in between. So I definitely think that there's going to be some cautions like normal, some big wrecks. It's not if, it's when.
All right, good luck today, John Hart. Thanks for making me feel old, too.
You? How about us?
I was going to say.
How many of those rookies remembered your Daytona 500 win?
Well, and my rookie season, I know none of them were born. Some of them weren't born when I won the Daytona 500 in 97, so I'm with you on me feeling pretty old. But, wow, a lot of talent here, Mike.
A six-pack of rookies, including on the top row, the top 3 drivers from the Xfinity Series championship last year. Well, we know Brendan Gaughan has been around here for a long time, and there's another fellow who has a long 2-generation tradition of racing at Daytona. Here's Matt.
Mike, his father, Ken Reagan, is behind. Did your dad bring the food out to all of you guys?
Yeah, he's tried to offer me some pretzels and peanut butter. I don't know where he got that from. I got an orange cracker. I ate a banana earlier, so I think we're all right. I'm just looking at the track. It looks good to me. I don't know why they don't go ahead and call us to the cars and let's get
the party started.
Yeah, let's get this show on the road. Our Select Blinds Ford is chomping at the bits, ready to go. So
real quick, this is sort of like Godfather 4, where just when you think you're out, they pull you right back in.
Yeah, it's hard to turn away the Daytona 500. I mean, this race means so much, and I've come down here for so many years, and I've been so close, and that just gives you motivation to get more. And so even though I'm retiring from full-time racing to spend some more time with my family, when there's a fast Mustang sitting over there and some good teammates to try to go help run well, I got to get out here. So it'd be good to win today.
And by the way, Mike, talking about classic trophies, the first grandfather clock that Fred Lorenzen won, the guy back there in the blue striped shirt, Ken Reagan, he's the one who has it in his race guy's room.
Former Cup driver himself, and now runs the Legends racing program at Atlanta Motor Speedway. A lot of gray in that racetrack. We are very close to having this track dry and putting drivers back in the cars. But earlier this week, Bubba Wallace is always up for a challenge, so he hopped in that giant airplane and jumped out of it.
He said he had a flight suit on, not a driving suit, and he proved it right here.
Landing in the ball field in the Tri-Oval of Daytona. How about that? Vince.
Now, what's more exhilarating, jumping out of the airplane or driving around here at 200 miles an hour?
Sorry, NASCAR fans, but jumping out of a plane is definitely more adrenaline rush feeling. What a cool experience. Right up there with flying in the fighter jets. I mean, thank you to the U.S. Air Force, the brave men and women that have been able to allow me to do this cool things and allow us to be out here for the Great American Race, the Daytona 500, for my 3rd year, looking to do some big things and kind of repeat 2 years ago, but one spot better.
Yeah, you were so close 2 years ago to winning this. How much has that just made the appetite even stronger to get to that next position and be a Daytona 500 winner?
Yeah, it's really been, we've been hungry for it, and our guys build great speedway cars for us, and our Chevrolets are always fast. So we didn't really get the results that we wanted last year, so we are definitely more hungry than we were coming into this race. So we're pumped up. The adrenaline's going. This Mother Nature rain, you gotta keep moving. So I'm kind of like bouncing around like a little kid, just trying to keep the adrenaline going and blood flowing. But we're going to try to be very conservative and be patient and just be there for the last 20 laps. Told Freddie and Jerry, last 20 laps, that's our goal. Let's get to that point, and then we'll go race.
Aim high.
That's right.
Jamie?
Chris Buescher is the newest member of the Roush Fenway number 17 team. Would you ever skydive like Bubba did?
I did it once, and that was enough for me. So I'm out when it comes to trying that again. My wife loved it, but not my cup of tea, apparently.
And you grew up riding dirt bikes and doing all kinds of crazy things, just not your thing.
Just not that. I love roller coasters. I like heights. I'm good with everything. I just did not enjoy that for whatever reason.
All right, so are you enjoying the ride in the new car, the new team, all these adjustments and changes this year so far?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a while of speed weeks already. Pretty happy to almost get on track and go green for the 500 with our Fastenal Ford Mustang, but we've had a really good duel. Car's driving really, really good, going where we want. It's staying with the group really well. It drafts well, so that's all pretty exciting. Just got to get into the race. The duel, you're kind of conservative, saving everything. It's been a busy week. We've had a lot of fun with Fastenal. With Fifth Third has a boat on Lake Lloyd out back that a lot of our guests are watching from. On the bright side, the sun's back out. I need to go find my Wally Egg sunglasses because it's about time to get back in the race car. The track's drying out. It's hot. And it's ready to put on a good show out here. So we're ready to go again.
We're ready. All right, the 17 Chris Buescher will roll off 19. Michael, where are you?
Well, Jamie, I'm at the lake. Check out this beautiful view. The fans are just like the drivers. They're eagerly anticipating the start of this race. Many of them have been here for hours. And if I interviewed any of them, you would realize that right quickly. There's a lot of fans from all over our country here having a great time. So while the drivers are anticipating a start, the fans are having a lot of fun.
Beverages are involved, for sure.
Oh, they've been having fun for a while, all night.
Lake Lloyd was formed when they dug up the dirt to build the bankings at either end of the speedway back in 1958.
I'm going to open up 2 beers. Okay. You tell me which sounds more refreshing.
Gotcha.
This one? Or this one?
Bush. Definitely the one that went bush. What beer is that?
Are you being serious?
Yes.
It's Bush.
Right.
Bush. WeatherTech is known for providing the ultimate protection for your vehicle with laser-measured floor liners and cargo trunk liner, along with seat protectors and seat back protectors. And now the WeatherTech Cup Phone with removable cups fits virtually any size cup holder and adjusts to fit virtually any size phone. Even allows easy access while charging. Whatever you drive, whatever phone you have, Cup Phone is the perfect fit. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com.
This just in. Is Jonah Hill going to flake out on Martin Scorsese? The world wants to know.
Come on, Jonah, come on. I apologize.
Hello. I saw you move in, and I wanted to welcome you to the neighborhood with some homemade biscuits.
Oh, that's so nice.
And a little tip, Geico could help you save on homeowners insurance.
Oh.
Cookies? Biscuits.
Throw a little nutmeg in there?
Oh, it's my mum's secret recipe.
You can tell me.
It's a secret.
Is it cinnamon?
It's my mum's secret recipe.
Call Geico and see how easy saving on homeowners and condo insurance can be.
I'll come back for the plate.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear. The camera's here and the microphones, and they wanna know. If you
A lot of superstars here in Daytona, where aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear. celebrating the endless pursuit of forward momentum. Goodyear, more driven. Look at that bright sunshine as crews have been called to uncover the cars, Matt.
Mike, nothing says patriotism like when we had the Air Force Thunderbirds do the flyover. Now, you've been in the back of an F-16 before.
Yeah, I got the privilege to fly with the guys out of Luke Air Force Base in my hometown. Yeah, just a lifetime experience. So much fun. You know, it's not like strapping in the Love Ford Mustang, but it's pretty close to it.
Keep an eye on this guy because he's always great on the speedway races, Regan.
Well, Cole Custer over here doing a little bit of late work to your helmet before you get ready to climb back in the race car. What were you working on there?
Just little stuff, just making sure everything's right. But everybody's done a great job, you know, getting ready for this year. So I'm just ready to get going. I mean, it was really exciting to get going on those pace laps, and then we had to stop. So I think we have a good enough hustle to make some Mustang to go to the front. It's just a matter of being there at the end.
All right, have fun today, Cole. Vince?
A week ago, Eric Jones won the Busch Clash. That was an exhibition race. What's it going to take to win the big one today?
Hopefully not like the Clash. I'd love to have the same result, maybe a little better looking cars. So the DeWalt Camry's got good speed. We just need to make it to the end. I don't know that you can win with quite a car like that today. So long race, hopefully we can get it back going here and make it to the end. Have a shot. We need to be there in the last 10 and race it out.
What a sight that would be, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Matt.
Martin Truex Jr. walking to his car, and the common phrase in the Toyota camp is managed risk. How do you do it trying to get yourself to the front and stay there?
This guy's doing it at the right time, and hopefully, you know, we got a strategy. Hopefully it works out. You know, this rain's going to mess us up. I think there's, you know, a little bit coming, so it's going to be a lot of guessing going on strategy-wise and things, but got a lot of confidence in our guys, and we have a plan, and if we need to, you know, make an alternate plan, I guess we'll do that. But feel good about our Bass Pro Tracker Toyota and see what we can do with it.
Right, go buckle in, Mike. You can certainly feel the sense of urgency and excitement here on the grid.
Truex roll off 15th, Austin Dillon 13th, getting ready to climb back in.
Little preparations there. You know, every driver has their own little nuances of what they like to do with their routine. You saw Joey Logano and how he likes to tape that foot protection to keep his foot from getting too hot on the floorboard.
Kevin Harvick getting wired up. And pole sitter Ricky Stenhouse. What a story. He drives for a family race team. Jody and Tad Geschecter partnered with NBA legend Brad Doherty in the 47 and the 37. Released by Roush Fenway Racing at the end of last year. When he came to this team, he brought crew chief Brian Patty and car chief Mike Kelly with him. And wow, they came here at Daytona. They had speed right when they unloaded, and they put that car on the pole with Hendrick Power to the surprise of many. Now it's the 8th year in a row that a Chevrolet has started the Daytona 500 from pole, but hardly anybody expected it would be this one.
Well, and he continued to surprise me, Mike, in his duel. Very aggressive. We always talk about when you're locked in on the front row, especially the pole sitter, you're going to take it easy, not put your car at too much risk. To me, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was aggressive, taking lots of risk, had a very fast race car, and that was before they could even adjust on it as they have in these last couple of practice sessions leading into today. So I think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to make a big statement today.
He'll be one of the men to beat, and here is another 7-time NASCAR champ, Jimmy Johnson, about to buckle in for his final Daytona 500. What everyone has their eye on is this. It's the Harley J. Earl Trophy. Harley Earl was the head of styling at General Motors in the 1950s. He and Bill France Sr. were close friends, and Earl commissioned this model of Firebird 1, a GM show car, to become the symbolic trophy of the Great American Race.
No trophy in my trophy case that I hold at a higher level or am more proud of than that Harley J. Earl Trophy. I'm still trying to figure out how I hoisted it up Victory Lane, though, Mike.
Yeah, it weighs how much?
54 pounds.
Wow. Here are 4 drivers who would love to hoist that trophy for the very first time. It's the 16th Daytona 500 for Martin Truex, 15th for Kyle Busch and Clint Boyer, 11th for Brad Keselowski. They've seen success. Look at those finishes. Everything but first. Word from the tower is to restart engines and get ready to roll off pit road for the second time today.
Interesting, Mike. Some of these drivers I see had tinted shields on their helmets, and with this delay, we're going to go into nighttime here. See, there's a veteran, Kevin Harvick, with the clear windshield shield on his helmet. He knows when this race is going to be wrapping up, and he's going to be ready, prepared to be there when it's the final laps.
So let's check back with Larry McReynolds. Obviously, Larry's still 200 laps, 500 miles to go. These few pace laps and this brief rain delay, does that change your thinking any?
Well, it does, Mike, and I've been actually running some numbers. You know, that's what I talked about at the top of the show. And the fuel window is 38 to 42 laps. And remember, this first stage is 65 laps. So no matter what, you have to pit one.
And now they've got to do this all over again.
Jamie McMurray joins us. Same thing, Jamie. Jitters. And what about this brief delay?
Man, I couldn't agree more, Jeff. I like things being the same and having a schedule and structured. And when you have those rain delays and you have to get out, it messes all of that up. So those guys got out, they went over, they probably got a snack. Now they got to get back in, get focused, and remember that this is the biggest race of the year, and get your mindset back to where it needs to be.
And maybe even something even worse is they went back and looked at the radar, and you know, it's just there's these spots, these things that can pop up on us. And so I think it's going to make even more urgency to get going, get under green, and how long can we go before another pop-up might hit us?
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree on that. You're going to be asking your crew chief now on, you know, is the rain coming, what's happening? And I like what you said about the visors. I was always paranoid about that, and I see some of the guys with clear visors, and some of the guys it's going to be hard to see later when it gets dark.
Now, Kyle Busch, that looks like a clear visor with a dark tinted tear-off. Best of both worlds.
Yeah, and that's what we started going to at the end of my career. You have that tear off, so you do have both options. So a lot of these guys, that might be what their plan is as the lights go come on and the sun goes down.
It'll be 1 to go at the line. Let's take a look at today's Ford Performance Track Facts. The last 4 Ford wins in the Daytona 500 have come with 4 different race teams, all of whom are in today's race. The Wood brothers with the 21, Roush Fenway Racing, Team Penske, and Stewart Haas. Larry, how about a look at our Ford virtual car?
Yeah, Mike, if you remember at the top with the race analysis, I talked about pit road speed being 55 miles per hour. And they're going to be out there racing at over 200 miles per hour. And it's measured through loops on pit road, time over distance. So rather than having to look at that tack right there, they have their lights. And different drivers set their lights up different. But what you want is all the green lights lit up. That tells you you're right there on the right RPM. If you do happen to trickle into the reds, you're going to have to back it out a little bit through that segment, or you'll be too fast on pit road, Mike.
And subject to penalties. Pit road time over distance is done electronically as we look at the visor cam on Jimmy Johnson.
And some of these drivers even have a pit road map. They might switch over to that map just so the whole dash, because there's plenty of options that digital dash can offer to the drivers and teams with information. Pit road entry and carrying the right amount of speed. These crew chiefs want them to get it down to the 10th of a mile per hour over the entire distance of pit road. That's a lot to ask.
Well, let's discuss weather, and the rules are different this year. The race is 3 stages, 65, 65, and 70 laps. Now, last year, we had to make it to the end of stage 2 to have an official race. This year, the rules are different. Either half the total distance or the end of stage 2, whichever comes first. So 100 laps will be half the distance. That will become before lap 130, the end of stage 2. So if we make it to 100 laps, whatever laps we can run tonight will make the race official. We can't come back tomorrow. If we don't make it to 100 laps, we have to come back tomorrow.
And we already heard the mindset going into this race day is that it's 500 miles. And I just want to get my car to the end of 500 miles. So you have a strategy to do that. Well, that could all change now if now you have to get to the halfway point of this race.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., 2-time winner, getting ready with the green flag to start the Daytona 500.
Boy, one of the best on super speedways. Just like his dad, you felt like the guy could see the air. Always one of the toughest competitors. When we came to a track like Daytona, Talladega, you knew you either had to keep him behind you or you're going to work really hard to try to make a pass to get by him.
Chevrolets on the front row, a Ford and a Chevy row 2, the same with row 3 and 4, 2 Fords in row 5. The first Toyota is back at row 7. That's Eric Jones.
I calmed down a little bit, Mike, but I'm getting excited again. Cannot wait to see what's going to unfold under green flag conditions.
And so are these fans. 101,500 seats, all sold out. Huge infield crowd of campers. And here they come off turn number 4. I'll try it again.
Try it again, Mike.
Folks, if you have a favorite phrase you'd like to yell at your TV before they wave the green flag, now's your time. Dale Earnhardt Jr. waves the green flag. The 62nd Daytona 500 is underway. Ricky Stenhouse started outside, dropped in front of Alex Bowman. On the outside, that's 24 Byron drifting back.
Yeah, clearly they had a plan where Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was going to get down in front of the other Chevrolet of Alex Bowman. But I don't think those Fords are wanting to play that kind of game right now. They're trying to shuffle these Chevrolets to the back.
Joey Logano, Eric Almirola on the outside. Logano in yellow and red. See if Stenhouse can lead the first lap of the Daytona 500. 3 wide, 6 rows behind him. Stenhouse leads lap 1.
Boy, Joey Logano already really aggressive. Got a nice push from Eric Almirola. I thought he was going to make a move around Stenhouse as we came to the starting line.
Kyle Larson in the center lane, that lane that backed up through the middle there. Look at Stenhouse moving up to the outside to cover the spot.
Well, you know, one of the reasons why these drivers block is because track position is very valuable. If you get pushed to the back, it's not an easy task to just get back up to the front. So if you've got the momentum, you have the lead, go ahead and maintain it.
Bowman on the inside with Bubba Wallace in tow, and Austin Dillon up in the top 10 on the inside, trying to gain some ground against that outside lane, which is fully formed up.
See that inside line goes up, does a side draft to that outside line. That stalls him out a little bit, slows him down, helps you maintain. You see right there in the middle, the 4 of Kevin Harvick going 3 wide to the inside of Jimmy Johnson and William Byron. He wants to get back up to some of his Ford teammates, getting a push from one of his actual teammates, Cole Custer.
Harvick in 9th, the red car was Custer. Here's Jimmy Johnson. And you see the 4 of Harvick, the 41 of Custer moving past.
Now all I can think of is these guys must like the way their cars are driving. They must feel some security. Maybe that cloud covers made the track nice and cool, because they're very comfortable right in the middle lane. As you see Kevin Harvick lunging forward to get to the back.
He got a big push from Cole Custer.
You know, guys, to start this race, we know that Denny Hamlin in the 11, Christopher Bell in the 95 had to start at the rear of the field. The minute the green flag dropped, Martin Truex Jr. in the 19 and Eric Jones in the 20 went back there to pick them up, and they're already lined up 5 in a line, as you see right there on the inside.
Yeah, I see that, Larry, and you can see that pack that's right there. Their width that they're drafting off of has actually lost touch to the lead pack. So there's a pretty big gap between these two groups.
No points, no payoff for leading laps in this race. The Toyotas have gone back to that second pack. Stenhouse in a Chevrolet out front. Logano's Ford in second, Matt.
Logano spotter TJ Majors told me lessons learned from late last year. This package, he felt like that Joey really needed to focus on speeding up his thought process and planning his moves. That's why in lap 1 he says the Fords are lined up. Go when you want to. That's why he pulled out.
Anytime the closing rate is increased, like what we see this year, big rear spoiler, lots of horsepower, about 100, 150 more horsepower this year compared to a year ago Daytona, you have to think faster. Everything around you happens faster. You need more information from your spotter, and you need to make decisions very concise.
200 miles an hour into turn 3. Now Stenhouse is the only Chevrolet in the front 6. It's 5 Fords behind him, but they may be content to let him lead because the lead car burns more fuel faster.
Yeah, we saw and we know fuel mileage is a concern. It's something that you're going to be playing that game all day long, because you just back up the race from the end and you start it. We saw in the pace lap some of these guys saving fuel.
A nice orderly single file, shall we say, presidential motorcade at Daytona.
On the day I was born. I can't fit. There's no room. Come on without me.
I got room. Hop in.
Okay.
Save yourselves.
So, this is Adam.
Critter's got an ugly mouth.
That's not its mouth.
Oh, I just had this washed.
You guys go. I can't fit.
Get in, Brian.
Thanks, Mom.
Hey.
Howdy. Again?
Go wherever they need you. The all-new Highlander. Toyota. Let's go places.
We made USAA insurance for members like Martin, an Air Force veteran made of doing what's right, not what's easy. So when a hailstorm hit, USAA reached out before he could even inspect the damage.
That's how you do it right.
USAA Insurance is made just the way Martin's family needs it. With hassle-free claims, he got paid before his neighbor even got started. Because doing right by our members, that's what's right. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
What are you doing in my car?
Oh, hey, Kevin. I was just telling everyone they can enter for a chance to win one of these bad boys every time you pit during Daytona.
Right, but they're not winning this race car. They're winning that sports car.
Right. I'll get out. Watch the Daytona 500. Tweet hashtag pit for Busch during Harvick pit stops. Win a sports car.
I got it.
At Outback, steak and lobster is back. Oh no, it's gone. Phew, it's back with lobster mac and cheese. It's gone again? Oh, it's back with shrimp now. Steak and lobster starting at only $16.99. Hurry in before these three are gone again. Outback Steakhouse.
9 laps completed the Daytona 500. Ricky Stenhouse has led them all. The most laps that JTG Doherty Racing has led in 500 history. Chevrolet out front, 5 Fords behind him, then 3 Chevrolets, then 4 Fords. The Toyotas wasted no time in advancing to the rear. They are 32nd through 36th, way deep in this pack.
When we heard Martin Truex Jr. say to us, they've got a plan. Clearly their plan was to drop to the back, because we saw cars like Eric Jones drop back there and pick up that group. Here's Eric Jones. I mean, right at the beginning, that's when they got the green flag, went into turn 1. Immediately, he waved those cars to the inside, went to the outside, and just dropped back to pick up his teammates.
He and 19 Martin Truex both fell way back into the 30s of this 40-car field. Single file off turn number 4, 10 laps complete. 65 laps will make up the first stage. They will need a fuel stop if we stay green during this stage. So there are the drop back cars. Also include Alex Bowman and Bubba Wallace there.
Well, the one sort of surprises me is Clint Boyer. You know, he was already starting further back than he wanted to, and he's decided to go ahead and just let it ride out. Let's see what these guys want to do, how anxious they want to be here early in the stages of the Daytona 500. And this is the advantage. Look at our telemetry on the left. You could run 195, 196 miles per hour. You're not even running 50% throttle.
That's Denny Hamlin, and that little yellow nub at the top of the circle, that is the steering angle indicator. 12 o'clock straight ahead. Well, we asked what happened to Clint Boyer. Here's Jamie.
Well, he started this race 29th, Mike, and now he slipped back to 37th. The only thing he said on the radio is this car is tight. It's out of control tight, Vince.
Well, in the 10 of Eric Almirola says the car is driving really good. And right now, as Mike, you indicated, they are very content to ride in their position right now and let Stenhouse burn the gas. But Almirola and Joey Logano, we've seen this act before. Remember, Almirola pushed Logano to a win in the duel. They said he's got a great pushing car, and we'll probably see that later today.
Here's the feel-good story of this 500. Timmy Hill from Port Tobacco, Maryland. In that 66, he's 26 years old. He had to race his way in on Thursday, and Thursday night said if we didn't make the Daytona 500, we would have had to shut this team down. He's in 10th place. Regan.
Well, Mike, just to take it one step further, 10th place today. He was 3rd in yesterday's Xfinity race, a career best. His crew chief, Stephen Idle, he has never called a race from atop the big pit box. We talk about nervous drivers. That is a nervous crew chief on that pit box as well.
th place, Chase Elliott. 1.5 seconds back of the lead in that number 9 Hendrick Chevrolet. Ross Chastain with him, and then right behind him, Alex Bowman, who started outside pole. And because he was on that inside line that couldn't keep pace with the formed up outside lane, he's now dropped back to 16.
Yeah, we saw that's the result of Joey Logano and Eric Almirola and some of those Fords shuffling him out. They went to the outside. He was stuck in that inside lane with no help. and he went backwards a good bit. So good job on Alex Bowman to even be in 16th right now.
Chase Elliott working the low side pretty much by himself. And let's go all the way to the back of this long line of cars. And here's your NASCAR champ, Kyle Busch, 33rd. That's Martin Truex just ahead, one of those Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas, 4 of them in this race, pretty much together.
One of the hardest things I ever did, Mike, was in a race where we decided to have a strategy to go to the back. Because as a driver, all you want to do is pass cars, run wide open. I know I've got a good handling car and a fast car. I know I can work my way to the front. But you know what? Sometimes the strategy is to be patient, and you've got to be patient in a 500-mile race.
Drivers peeking out of line. It was Ryan Blaney that time, and here's John Hunter Nemechek to the inside in the 38. Rookie trying to gain some experience and a little ground here. 16 green flag laps complete in the 62nd Daytona 500. How about this ride above Lake Lloyd?
This just in. Is Jonah Hill going to flake out on Martin Scorsese? The world wants to know.
Come on, Jonah, come on.
Jonah!
You gotta answer that. Everyone's waiting.
You ever wish you weren't a motor?
Sure. Sometimes I wish I had legs like you.
Yeah, is it like a regular person?
No. Still have bike half man. Just the opposite.
What's the legs on the bottom and motorcycle on the top? Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
For those who were born to ride, there's Progressive.
The 2020 Ford Explorer Limited Hybrid can tow up to 5,000 pounds and has an EPA estimated range of 500 miles per tank. It's the greatest exploration vehicle of all time.
With Pizza Hut's new Mozzarella Poppers Pizza, you can switch between 16 fried mozzarella bites and a large pizza. Pizza then app. App then pizza. It's your world. We're just making pizza in it. Hurry and try it before it's gone. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The Daytona 500 on Fox is sponsored by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. Perfect for race fans. And by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
20 laps and the field comes by the start-finish line under caution. A few sprinkles in turn 2 have halted things temporarily. I once worked a 4th of July race here in blazing heat, 85 degrees. I was on a scaffold in turn 4. Everybody was getting soaked down in turn 2. I was dry. It never rained in turn 4, but everybody in the infield in turn 2 was soaked. Race was delayed about 30 minutes.
Well, it just goes to show you how big this racetrack is. It could be raining at one end of the racetrack and completely dry in the other. Pretty good perspective to see just how long that back straightaway is.
Close to 3,000 feet. Ricky Stenhouse has led every lap of the Daytona 500 so far. With 65 laps in stage 1. Well, we'll see when we come back how this might affect race strategy. First caution of the day in the Daytona 500.
Red Bull gives you wings.
The sports world is buzzing about the XFL.
It's XFL football, man.
And this week should be even better.
That was gorgeous.
St. Louis, Houston, tonight after the race on FS1.
We need you on set right now.
This is a Fox Nation green room.
Fox Nation?
Fox Nation is the new entertainment service from the good folks over at Fox News that celebrates America. Start your free trial today.
The sports world is buzzing about the XFL.
It's XFL football, man.
And this week should be even better.
That was gorgeous.
St. Louis, Houston, tonight at 6 Eastern on FS1.
Take me to where? Oh, hell yeah. You can't see me! And it's boom drop time. We got a new champion! We got a new champion!
The Silverado and new Silverado HD are the strongest, most advanced Silverados ever. Learn more at Chevy.com.
Ricky Stenhouse has led every lap of the Daytona 500, and they've just brought the cars to pit road for a shower over turn number 2. Second one so far in this 500. No wipers, no rain tires. We'll just have to dry the track once more.
The good news
and get out
is
there.
that this pop-up only hit 1 and 2, where the last time it was the entire track, so shouldn't take us too long to get it dry.
Cars get covered up and drivers head for cover. Well, hopefully we can learn about some of the varying strategies. The Fords were content to let Stenhouse lead so they could save a little gas. The Toyotas, led by Eric Jones there, dropped all the way to the back. Here's Matt.
Christopher Bell making his first start in the Great American Race. So we had rain, we had a green flag, a little bit of a run there. So what do you feel like 20 laps in or so?
Yeah, well, I'm 2 for 2 on my Cup Series rain delays, so that's not really cool, but at least we got some laps in there. We can get a little bit better understanding of what's going on, or at least for me, since I've never done it before. But really happy with this Procore Camry. It's been really good ever since we got here as far as handling, and seems like it's pretty fast too. Qualifying 9th was really, really good. Everyone on the team was really happy about that. So we'll see what happens here.
So taking a step up to Cup from Xfinity, everything is a learning process. And Jason Ratcliffe told me that you sort of went old school, new to the digital dash, that you wanted it more looking like the old analog gauges.
Yeah, that was a huge learning curve going from the Xfinity cars to these, and something we had to work on. Whenever I showed up, I kind of just told them that run what we had or what they had last year, and I'll get adjusted to it. And then whenever I ran the the duel there, I struggled really bad figuring out what, to hit my lights and stuff like that. So
for pit road speed.
Yeah, for pit road. So we had to work on that, and thankfully we had a lot of practice there where we could just focus on the small extra details, and I think we got a lot closer.
All right, thanks, Regan.
Well, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Joey Logano standing here. Joey, you guys have been working well on the racetrack together, playing nice. You're playing nice right now. A little umbrella holder for everybody. What have you guys been able to learn out front so far with your race cars?
I just told Ricky, don't forget who provides a roof over his head right now. So when we're out there, but no, we're just clicking off some laps. He's getting a feel for our car, seeing what we got, and he might have the bow tie on there, but I'm trying to bring it back over here to Ford camp. But we got a good line of them behind us there, and Shell Pencil Ford's driving really good. Got some speed, just got a long ways to go, and got to dry this thing off again.
Ricky, what do you think? He's been pushing you along here as we've been going on. Any chance you return the favor later on in the race?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously we battled really hard in the duels. We were talking about that before the race. We just all-out battle trying to win the duel, and, hopefully we can battle it out coming to the end of the 500. And I definitely would have done a few things different there, but, I had to look in my mirror the whole first, 3 or 4 laps trying to keep him behind us. But all in all, our Kroger Camaro's been pretty good. Been trying to dodge all the trash that's out on the track and try not to get any debris on the grill.
All right, good luck, guys. Vince?
Johnson, and it is really coming down now on the front straight. I saw you visiting with your crew chief, Cliff Daniels. Did you learn anything in those first set of laps?
Not a ton, but just trying to guess where our balance is going and how the car is kind of evolving as we burn some fuel off. We thought we had a strategy for the way these segments would play out for fuel. All these caution laps, I think it's going to change at least the first segment and how that plays out. So just making sure that our base is covered for our fuel options that we were looking at. But now it looks like we're going to need a boat or something. It's raining really hard.
You've been through a lot of rain delays. Does it help as you become, a veteran to it to get through it?
It really does emotionally, but the amount of calories you eat on rain delays, I think anybody that works in the sport knows. You just graze through these rain delays and it adds up.
Thanks, Jenny. Jamie?
And Ryan Newman fourth on the board right now, umbrella holder, and cameraman Goat getting soaked right now, by the way, so hats off to all of our guys out there in the rain. But Ryan, were you able to take anything away from those few laps that you guys did get?
The car's super competitive, just as it's been all speed weeks long. Koch Industries Fords guys have done a really good job getting me something that's really comfortable and got good speed. So just kind of biding our time there. I saw Joey trying to make a move to get the lead, but then kind of settled in. So we'll keep. We'll see what it's like here, the way the math works out. We're kind of in our fuel window right here, so we'll see.
Got a new teammate this year, in Chris Buescher. What do you think of him, and are you guys well adjusted and how you can work together perhaps on the track today?
Well, I don't think you can get adjusted for the entire season here in Daytona, but look forward to the entire season with him, and Vegas will be the true test. I mean, the first mile and a half we go to kind of defines what you need to work on if you need to work on anything.
All right, Ryan, thank you. Go stay dry. Matt?
And we're tandem umbrella racing here at the other end of pit road, and when you look at taking over the 21, the legendary iconic car from the Wood brothers, there's a lot of excitement, but there's also a lot of pressure to perform because of their great legacy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been amazing finally being able to kind of pilot the 21 Motorcraft Quick Lane Ford Mustang that I've been wanting to drive for so long. But we're sitting here and you get all amped up and ready to go, and then having breaks. But as far as pressure, what you talk about, it's I think my career path has just been so much pressure at every point. It's made me pretty mentally numb to that.
You're able to block it out?
Yeah, I just go and do my job. And honestly, man, for anyone that knows the Wood brothers and what kind of people they are and this race team is, it's such an incredibly laid-back group, and it's so fun because we have all the tools and power to perform with the Sport from Ford and our alliance with Penske and all the great sponsors with them, Motorcraft Quick Lane, Menards, everybody that gave me the shot. But it's a pretty laid-back environment. You've been around the woods enough.
And also when you look at Edsel Ford as well, I mean, he just brings so much passion to the environment.
Oh, yeah. It's I think I've heard a joke of they call the 21 his baby or company car or whatever you want to call it. So it's neat to have Edsel hanging by our car and on the pit box. So that might be a little bit of pressure there. And, he's really proud of, NASCAR, and it's neat to have the support from those guys. So it was a neat situation.
All right, thanks, Matty. Mike?
That team has had so much success here at the 500. Tiny Lund winning in 63, relieving Marvin Panch, who was injured in a car fire earlier that week. Cale Yarbrough in 68. Anthony Joseph Foyt Jr. is in the house today, the 1972 winner, the Silver Fox in 76. And as we learned earlier, Trevor Bayne is here at Daytona, who scored the Wood brothers' 98th Cup win in 2011 here in the 500. Who will next etch their name onto the Harley Earl Trophy? Here's Vince.
Well, I can tell you this man right here would sure like to do that, put his name on that trophy, that's for sure. We got a long way to go till we get to that point, we think. But were you able to decipher anything from what you did out there before the rains came?
Yeah, for sure, Vince. My discount tire Ford is handling really well. So a couple guys that look like they have a lot of speed but no handling, and I think we've got a great mix of the two, which is really what you want for a daytime race. I'm hoping it doesn't keep raining like this and push us into a nighttime race, or if it does, maybe it'll push it into a tomorrow race. I don't know, because our car is really set up well for when the track gets hot and slick. So I'm excited about that, but long, long ways to go.
Thanks, Brad. Mike.
Thanks, Vince. Kyle Larson out of his car, running in 17th position. What a racer. What an off-season he has had after Homestead. Went to Bakersfield. Checkered flag turkey night in Ventura, California. The Gateway Dirt Nationals, over to New Zealand for Boxing Day, and the International Midget Race, and then the big win at the Chili Bowl. He raced 20 times in the offseason and won 10 of them. Let's meet Kyle Larson.
Well, Kyle Larson, another guy over here holding the umbrella for me. I appreciate that. Kyle, we were just documenting your offseason and the amount of back and forth, and racing in general you did. How does that do to keep you fresh in the race car?
Yeah, I mean, I think just me staying active in a race car is my way of staying fresh. You know, I never really feel like I've got rust to knock off in a way, you know, because I'm staying so busy. So, yeah, it was a fun off-season, won a lot of races, but now we're here in Daytona, and it wouldn't be a normal Daytona 500 without dealing with some rain delays. So, hate that we're having to do that, but, you know, so far been a pretty calm race.
Pretty calm race for you. You're riding around in 17th place right now. Have you been able to learn anything about your race car that you can relate to or relay to your crew chief as you sit up on top of the pit box with him?
A little bit loose, I would say. Entry of one I got a couple times, and kind of on exit if I put myself in an awkward spot on the guy in front of me. But it's so early to tell, and you know, now with the delays, you will probably get to race at a night where I was pretty loose, I thought, in the duels. So. We'll have to tighten up, I'm sure, but hopefully we'll get the balance good and have a clean car towards the end of it to race for a win.
All right, thanks, Kyle.
Boy, he's a racer's racer, Kyle Larson.
He might be one of the guys that actually wouldn't mind they went green right now. That dirt track experience and help him in the rain a lot.
There's that pop-up shower that's over us right now. You see there's nothing there, and then all of a sudden, up it comes. And things are a little wet here where Michael Waltrip is up on the roof.
Yeah, I came to the spotters stand, and for some reason they all left. I don't really understand exactly